Hart, Councilmember Hart leading us in the pledge.
Do I push that?
Yes, please.
I did it good. Hey, thank you all for what you do. We're grateful for that, and thankful for you guys being servants of the city and for everything you do. So, Father, we come to you tonight, and we ask you for the well-being of this city. Your scripture says that we can pray to you so this city might thrive, Father. And I pray over these men and women as they are servants of our city, that you would give them wisdom that they need, humility and discernment to help facilitate these conversations and discussions and decisions for the well-being of your people. So God, we just thank you for the position they hold, for the time they give, and the heart that they have for this town. And just, Scripture says that we don't have wisdom because we don't ask for it. So Father, we come to you right now and we ask for it. And you have promised to give it. So we pray that into reality right now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, would you take roll, please?
Frank Baptist.
Here.
Steve Brown. Jocelyn Cash.
Here.
Evelyn Reed. Here. Bill Donner.
Here.
Jeff Morrow.
Here.
Judd Hart.
Here.
James Hertzfield.
Here.
Steve Lee.
Here.
Jeff Ham.
Here.
There'll be 9 present.
9 present, all right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from November the 25th.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of November the 25th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes from, entertain a motion approval of minutes from the public hearing on November 25th.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the public hearing on November 25th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, at this time we have a special recognition, so.
No, sir.
If you'll come forward, please. You know, it ain't often that we get to recognize someone, and he's got a tie on.
He's got a towel.
Boy, I tell you, that's shocking. I've seen him a long time. But his peers, the firemen, the 71 people that are associated with him, voted him Firefighter of the Year, which is a big honor. Anytime your peers vote you something, it's a huge honor. And I know Stuart personally, and I want to thank him for everything he does, not only for the Firefighters Association, but for all of our citizens, for us here in the city. We appreciate your hard work and dedication. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Well deserved. Thank you.
Oops, sorry.
All right. All right. We'll move right into our committee reports and motions, and we'll start with the Finance Committee. Ask Councilmember Cash to give us what she's got.
Okay, my first one is I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 82 of 2019.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 82 of 2019. Would you
Yes,
please
sir.
read it?
Resolution 82 of 2019, resolution adopting the 2020 budget for the general fund, animal control, parks, and street funds, establishing a procedure for revising same, and for other purposes. Whereas pursuant to ACA 1458-201, the mayor of the city of Benton, Arkansas has an obligation to submit an annual budget to the city council for approval for the upcoming year. And whereas pursuant to ACA 1458-202, the city council of the city of Benton, Arkansas has an obligation to adopt a budget for the operation of the city for the upcoming year. Now therefore be it resolved by City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, pursuant to the authority granted in ACA 1458-202 and 1458-203, the City Council does hereby adopt the fiscal year 2020 City of Benton budget, which is attached hereto, marked as Exhibit 1. The adoption of this budget shall be deemed as an appropriation pursuant to the foregoing statutes. Section 2, the line items contained within the budget are deemed to be estimates of the costs necessary for running each department through the year. Expenditures may not exceed those amounts defined within Exhibit 1. Section 3, should the amount budgeted for each amount shown in Exhibit 1 need to be revised, monetary transfers between departments may occur and shall be administered by and be the responsibility of the mayor or his appointed staff member. Any adjustments to the amount budgeted in each category shall be done by the City Council, who shall do so by passing a resolution amending the budget.
All right, do we have any comments about it from the public? Comments from the council?
Mayor, I'd just like to thank everyone for their hard work on this. I know we've changed it and had a lot of questions here at the very end, but I do appreciate everyone's hard work on that. Thank you.
We can thank Mandy and Christiana and all the department heads for the budget we presently have before you. So, nothing else, please take a vote.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown? Jocelyn Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
All right, resolution number 82 of 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Cash?
I'll make a motion for the first reading of ordinance number 88 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 88 of 2019.
Ordinance number 88 of 2019, an ordinance modifying the compensation of the office of council member, declaring emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the City Council of the City of Benton wishes to adjust the salary for the members of the Benton City Council. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. Commencing on January the 1st, 2020, all members of the Benton City Council shall be paid an annual salary of $9,900. Section 2, all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent of the conflict but not otherwise. Section 3, inasmuch as the members of the Benton City Council provide a necessary governmental function to the citizens of the City of Benton, emergency is hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately upon its passage and approval.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Councilmember Cash?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third reading. Please take a vote.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown? Jocelyn Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 88 of 2019 and have the reading by title only.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt motion 88 by the reading of title only for the second and third readings.
Ordinance number 88 of 2019, an ordinance modifying the compensation for the office of council member, declaring emergency and for other purposes.
All right. Comments? Any comments? I thought she was going to come forward and make a comment, but I guess not. What about from the council?
She's not stupid.
All right, please take a vote.
Steve Brown? Jocelyn Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause.
Jocelyn Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown?
All right, ordinance number 88 of 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Cash?
I'll make a motion for the first reading of ordinance number 89 of 2019.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance 89 of 2019.
Ordinance number 89, 2019, ordinance modifying the compensation for the office of mayor, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the City Council of the City of Benton wishes to provide the mayor with a monthly stipend for the use of his or her personal vehicle for city business. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. Commencing on January 1st, 2020, the mayor shall receive a stipend of $6,000 annually for the personal use of his or her vehicle for city business. This amount shall be in addition to the annual salary amount. Section 2, all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent of the conflict but not otherwise. Ordinance 68 of 2014 is hereby amended to reflect the stipend for the office of mayor beginning for the year 2020 and for all subsequent years. Section 3, inasmuch as the mayor provides a necessary governmental function to the citizens of the city of Benton by providing a personal vehicle for performing these city functions, emergencies hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effectively upon its passage and approval.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
I make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third readings.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jeff Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 89 of 2019 on its second and third readings and do it by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 89 of 2019, second and third reading by title only.
Ordinance number 89 of 2019, ordinance modifying the compensation for the office of mayor, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Please take a vote.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 89 of 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Cash.
I make a motion to adopt resolution number, which one am I on? Number 83 of 2019. Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 83 of 2019.
Resolution 83 of 2019, resolution authorizing an employee's continued employment with the city after concluding participation in the delayed retirement option plan for the City of Benton Fireman's Relief and Pension Fund and certifying the City Council is aware of the risk of using a cash flow model for a small group. Whereas participants in the City of Benton's Fireman's Relief and Pension Fund may elect to participate in the delayed retirement option plan drop for a 5-year period of time. And whereas after the conclusion of the initial 5-year period, the participant may elect to participate in a second and final 5-year period of drop participation. And whereas at the conclusion of the second 5-year period, the participant must either terminate his employment or be granted permission to extend his employment without participation in the retirement plan of the city, so long as several components set by Arkansas state law are met. And whereas by letter dated July the 9th, 2019, Chief William M. Ford has requested that the City Council grant him permission to continue his employment after July the 1st, 2020, which will be the end of his second 5-year term of participation in the drop program, which is attached here to as Exhibit 1. And whereas a municipality may authorize this change in benefits to occur so long as it also certifies that it is aware of the risk of using a cash flow model for a small group. And whereas the members of the City of Benton Fireman's Relief and Pension Fund passed a resolution authorizing continued employment at the conclusion of the drop program, which is attached here to as Exhibit 2. And whereas the Arkansas Fire and Police Pension Review Board, after reviewing the necessary components of such a plan change, has approved the fund's resolution to allow continued employment with the city, which is attached here to, marked as Exhibit 3. And whereas the City Council desires to allow continued employment of William M. Ford following July the 1st, 2020, and for all such participants which are similarly situated. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas. Section 1, the City Council does hereby authorize and approve allowing participants in the City of Benton Fireman's Relief and Pension Fund to continue employment with the city after the conclusion in the DROP program. This authorization extends to William M. Ford and all individuals who are similarly situated. Section 2, the City Council does hereby certify in accordance with state law that it understands the risk involved in using a cash flow model for a small group.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
Mayor?
Yes.
How many people does that include besides Chief Ford? Do you know?
I don't know. I think that's the only one it does. That's, all right, other questions? All right, please take a vote.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hertzfeld?
Yes.
Steve Lee? Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown? Joshua Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
All right. Resolution number 83 of 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Cash, do you have anything else?
I do. I make a motion for the first reading of ordinance number 90 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 90 of 2019. Please read it.
Ordinance number 90 of 2019. An ordinance amending the 2019 budget for the general funds adopting ordinance 1 of 2019, authorizing the transfer of funds for the purchase of equipment for the police department, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Sorry.
All right, any comments from the
No,
public?
I'm not
You're not
finished.
done?
I can be, yeah. Whereas the City Council adopted the 2019 General Fund Budget, Ordinance 1 of 2019, and whereas the City Council needs to amend the 2019 General Fund Budget, transfer and appropriate funds for the purchase of equipment for the police department as set forth in Exhibit 1 to this ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, pursuant to the authority granted in ACA Section 1458-202 and 1458-203, City Council does hereby amend the fiscal year 2019 City of Benton budget as adopted in Ordinance 1 of 2019. The revised expenditures for the operation of the city are attached to as Exhibit 1 to this ordinance and are fully described therein. The adoption of this amendment shall be deemed as appropriation pursuant to the foregoing statute as well as any of the applicable ordinance of the city. Section 2, the police chief is hereby authorized to purchase equipment with these funds. Section 3, it is hereby found and determined there is immediate need to amend the budget to appropriate funds as set forth herein. Therefore, emergency exists, and this ordinance is necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety. It shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
All right. Any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
I make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading of ordinance number 90, 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. Please take a vote.
James Hertzfeld?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown? Joshua Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 90 of 2019 on its second and third reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 90 of 2019 by the reading of title only on the second and third reading.
Ordinance number 90 of 2019, an ordinance amending the 2019 budget for the general funds adopting ordinance 1 of 2019 authorizing the transfer of funds for the purchase of equipment for the police department, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Hearing none, take a vote, please.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown? Joshua Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hertzfeld?
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause. Please take a vote.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown? Joshua Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hertzfeld?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 90 of 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Cash, you have anything further?
I do. I make a motion for the first reading of ordinance number 91 of 2019.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 91 of 2019. Please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 91, 2019, ordinance amending the 2019 budget for the general funds, adopting ordinance 1 of 2019, authorizing the acceptance of insurance proceeds for a damaged vehicle, appropriating funds from these proceeds, declaring emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the city has received $17,742.41 in insurance proceeds for a damaged police cruiser, and whereas the funds have been received and need to be properly accounted for in the 2019 budget, and whereas the City Council needs to amend the 2019 general fund budget to account for this receipt of funds and to appropriate the funds for use by the police department. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, pursuant to the authority granted in ACA Section 1458-202 and 1458-203, the City Council does hereby amend the fiscal year 2019 City of Benton budget as adopted in Ordinance 1 of 2019. The revised expenditures for the operation of the city are attached to as Exhibit 1 to this ordinance and more fully described therein. The adoption of this amendment shall be deemed as appropriation pursuant to the foregoing statutes as well as any other applicable ordinance of the city. Section 2 is hereby found determined there is an immediate need to amend the budget to account for the insurance proceeds and to appropriate funds as set forth herein. Therefore, emergency exists, and this ordinance is necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety. It shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
I make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 91 of 2019 on the second and third readings by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 91 of 2019 by the reading of title only on the second and third reading.
Ordinance number 91 of 2019. An ordinance amending the 2019 budget for the general funds adopting ordinance 1 of 2019 authorizing the acceptance of insurance proceeds for a damaged vehicle, appropriating funds from these proceeds, declaring emergency and for other purposes.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Please take a vote.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield. Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
I make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause on ordinance number 91 of 2019.
Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown.
I make a motion to adopt resolution number 84 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 84, 2019.
Resolution 84, 2019, resolution declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing the sale of the surplus property at auction. Whereas the city police department owns certain equipment which it no longer needs, and whereas the city council needs to declare the property which is itemized in Exhibit 1 as surplus and to authorize it to be sold at public auction. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, that Section 1, the property listed in Exhibit 1 is hereby declared surplus property and shall be sold at public auction in accordance with the applicable state or federal law. Section 2, the police chief is authorized to set the terms and conditions for the auction with respect to the amount of deposit required on the day of sale, closing, and all other necessary terms for the sale, including the date for when the surplus property shall be delivered to the successful bidder.
Any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Please take a vote.
Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown.
All right, resolution number 84, 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Cash.
I make a motion to adopt resolution number 85 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 85 of 2019. Please read the resolution.
Resolution 85 of 2019, a resolution awarding a contract to Jones Heating and Air Conditioning, providing HVAC maintenance services to the city and for other purposes. Whereas the city of Benton after having advertised for bids for HVAC maintenance services, has determined that the proposal submitted by Jones Heating and Air, which is a local company, is the most acceptable proposal for these services, and that the city should award the contract to this company. A copy of the bid tabulation is attached hereto as Exhibit 1. Now therefore be it resolved by City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, that Section 1, the proposal of Jones Heating and Air is the most acceptable bid providing HVAC maintenance services to the city. Section 2, the mayor is authorized to execute on behalf of the city a contract for HVAC services with Jones Heating and Air, and to execute such other documents as may be necessary and convenient to accomplish this purpose. The contract term shall be for 1 year and renewable annually for up to 3 consecutive years. Section 3, the mayor is likewise authorized on behalf of the city to pay any amounts which may become due and payable under the contract.
Any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Please take a vote.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jed Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Jocelyn Cash.
Yes.
All right, resolution number 85, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Cash.
I make a motion to adopt resolution number 86 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 86, 2019. Please read the resolution.
Resolution 86 of 2019, resolution authorizes the city into a contract extension with Ultimate Communications, Inc., providing IT services to the city police department and for other purposes. Whereas the city of Benton published a request proposal in 2016 for supplying IT services to the city, which the city council determines to be a professional service. And whereas the RFP stated the contract term would begin January the 1st, 2017, and would extend for 1 year, at which point in time the services may be renewed on a year-to-year basis for up to 6 additional 1-year terms or a portion thereof. And whereas after review of the proposals, the contract was awarded to Ultimate Communication, Inc. in Resolution 73 of 2016. And whereas the city wishes to enter into a 1-year extension of the agreement with Ultimate Communications, Inc. to provide IT services to the City of Benton Police Department alone, which will be the third of 6 potential extensions. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. The mayor and city clerk hereby authorized to execute on behalf of the City of Benton a 1-year contract extension with Ultimate Communications, Inc. to provide IT services for the City of Benton Police Department, which shall extend from January the 1st, 2020 through December the 31st, 2020. The contract does not provide services for any other city department.
All right. Any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Please take a vote.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jed Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Jocelyn Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
All right, resolution number 86, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Cash.
I make a motion for the first reading of ordinance number 92 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 92 of 2019. Please read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 92 of 2019, an ordinance permitting Dustin Ham to conduct business with the City of Benton and prescribing the extent of such authority, declaring emergency, and for other purposes. Whereas Dustin Ham, a city police sergeant, provides special services which the city wishes to utilize. And whereas Sergeant Ham presently makes special appearances for non-police related events, and he also supplies handmade items which are used on uniforms and police gear, which are fabricated using 3D printing technology, laser cutting, engraving, and sewing, all of which enhance the quality, efficiency, and speed of officer outfitting at prices which are less than retail cost. And whereas, but for the adoption of this ordinance, Section 1442-107 of Arkansas Code annotated would prohibit the city from purchasing or otherwise obtaining services from Sergeant Ham. And whereas the city council finds it is in the best interest of the city to do business with Sergeant Ham for obtaining these products and services. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. Sergeant Dustin Ham shall be permitted to conduct business and to furnish such services to the City of Benton to the full extent that he should have conducted business with the City of Benton, but for the effect of Arkansas Code annotated 1442-107 prior to the adoption of this ordinance. Section 2, if any provisions of this ordinance, the application thereof to any person or circumstance held invalid, such invalidity does not affect the other provisions or applications of this ordinance, which can be given effect without the invalid provision or application to this, and the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable. Section 3, because of the immediate need to have the services and products stated herein for the city emergency hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be come into effect immediately upon its passage and approval.
All right. Any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
as a family-related incident, I would like to recuse myself from voting.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, I make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second, third reading.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yeah.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Recuse.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 92 of 2019 on the second and third reading to be read by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 92 of 2019 on the second and third reading by title only.
Ordinance number 92 of 2019, ordinance permitting Dustin Ham to conduct business with the city of Benton and prescribing the extent of such authority, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Hearing none, comments on member Cash?
Okay, do we take a vote?
Take a vote.
Yes, sir. Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yeah.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Recuse for family relationship reasons.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause.
James Hurtsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham. Just say abstain. Thank you. Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 92 of 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Cash, anything else?
This is my last one. I make a motion for the first reading of ordinance number 93 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 93 of 2019. Please read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 93 of 2019, ordinance amending the 2019 budget for the general funds, adopting ordinance 1 of 2019, authorizing the repair and maintenance of equipment for the fire department, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the city council adopt the 2019 general fund budget, ordinance 1 of 2019, whereas the city council needs to amend the 2019 general fund budget to appropriate funds for the repair and maintenance of equipment for the fire department set forth in Exhibit 1 to this ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the city of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, pursuant to authority granted in ACA Section 1458-202 and 1458-2, the city council does hereby amend the fiscal year 2019 city of Benton budget as adopted in ordinance 1 of 2019. The revised expenditures for the operation of the city are attached here to as Exhibit 1 to this ordinance or fully described therein. The adoption of this amendment shall be deemed as appropriation pursuant to the foregoing statutes as well as any of the applicable ordinance of the city. Section 2, the fire chief is hereby authorized to make the purchases authorized herein. Section 3, it is hereby found and determined that there is immediate need to amend the budget to appropriate funds as set forth herein. Therefore, emergency exists. This ordinance is necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, and safety. It shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
I make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second, third reading.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 93 of 2019 on the second and third reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 93 by the second and third reading by title only. Please take a vote.
Ordinance number 93 of 2019, ordinance amending the 2019 budget for the general funds adopted in ordinance 1 of 2019, authorizing the repair and maintenance of equipment for the fire department, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the city council adopt the 2019 general fund budget, ordinance 1 of 2019, whereas the city council needs to amend the 2019 general fund budget to appropriate funds for the repair and maintenance of equipment for the fire department set forth in Exhibit 1 to this ordinance, therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, pursuant to authority granted in ACA Section 1458-202 and 1458-203. The City Council does hereby amend the fiscal year 2019 City of Benton budget as adopted in Ordinance 1 of 2019. The revised expenditures for the operation of the city are attached hereto as Exhibit 1 to this ordinance and more fully described therein. The adoption of this amendment shall be deemed as appropriation pursuant to the foregoing statute as well as the end of the applicable ordinance of the city. Section 2, the fire chief is authorized to make purchases authorized herein. Section 3 is hereby found and determined there is immediate need to amend the budget to appropriate funds as set forth herein. Therefore, emergency exists, and this ordinance is necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety. It shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
All right, any comments? Comments from the council?
You want me to take roll?
Please.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Jed Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield, Steve Lee.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause. Please take a vote.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Jed Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 93 of 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Cash,
That
anything?
is all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to community service and animal control. Councilmember Reed.
Yes, sir. At this time, make a motion that we suspend the rules for the second reading of ordinance 82 of 2019 to be read by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the ordinance number 82 of 2019 by reading of title only. Please take a vote.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Jed Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
All right. We good? Okay. Any comments from the public? Please state your name, turn your mic on up there.
Yes, sir. Am I on?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Can you hear me now? I guess is what they'd ask in the commercial. Anyway, I'm John Bethel. I'm with Director of Public Affairs with Entergy Arkansas. I spoke to you during your last meeting about this subject. At that time, I requested that you not vote on this ordinance and the ordinance number 83, and I'll make comment at that time as well. But at that time, we indicated we were making progress towards reaching an agreement with Benton Utilities Commission on resolving the matters of dispute between the two of us, and I think that we have an agreement in principle. We don't have that agreement reduced to writing and ready to present to you tonight, but we are making very good progress on that. And I believe that we'll be in a position to present that documentation to you in the January meeting, and would ask that you not vote on these items tonight, that would help us complete that negotiation process and have a recommended agreement for your approval at that time. And also want to express Entergy's appreciation to the council for your not requesting the information that's outlined in resolution number 79. While we're going through the negotiations, that's helpful, and we'd ask you to continue to refrain from making that request while we're negotiating, because if we're able to make an agreement, that information wouldn't be necessary. We wouldn't have to go through the effort of providing that, but we're happy to do so at the proper time, and I'd be happy to take any questions you may have of me at this time.
Yes, sir.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the last meeting we had, when you stood right where you're standing right now, you asked us to postpone it to this meeting and then vote on this meeting. Now we're at this meeting, and you're asking us the same exact thing that you asked last time to not vote this time.
Yes, sir. The difference in
So are you correct now, or were you correct then?
I believe I was correct then, and I believe I'm correct now. Then I said,
I mean-
I asked, my request was that you refrain from voting because I was highly confident we were going to be able to reach a deal with Benton Utilities Commission.
I'm kind of feeling
And-
like I'm in D.C. right now.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm highly confident, I was at the time highly confident we were going to be able to reach a deal that we can present to you. And Mr. Carter is here and others from the Benton Utilities Commission. They can certainly speak on their own behalf. But I believe we have reached an agreement in principle and would be prepared to document that. It takes some time to finish the documentation to support that recommendation to you. We weren't able to complete that work before tonight, but we will be able to complete that work before the January meeting. But we do have an agreement between the two parties that we will be able to present for your consideration. So I believe what I asked you to do the last time, and based on the expectation we would make progress and be able to reach an agreement, I believe we've done so. And what I'm asking you tonight is the same thing, is to give us time to put that into writing. And that's, I respectfully request you do that.
What you stated last time was wait and we can vote at the next meeting. We are
Yes, sir.
now in that meeting right now, which you're asking us to not vote now, to postpone again.
That you could vote if necessary, if we hadn't reached an agreement. And
I
you and I
didn't-
may disagree, and I respect
sure
your
we do.
position, and that's fine. I'm telling you the status of the situation where it is, and it would be, from our point of view, positive to continue to withhold that action. But it's your decision, obviously.
Mr. Bethel, if you would explain, if it is passed tonight, how would that negatively affect the negotiation process between the city and Energy?
How, if the resolution is passed tonight,
Yes,
the ordinance is
if
passed
these ordinances
tonight?
are passed tonight, why does that have any effect on the negotiations between the city and Energy?
Well, it certainly commences a formal process of making preparations for an election. It declares the city is, by its own ordinance, intending to act to take our property. Right now, that hasn't happened, but when it does, it's certainly we have to consider what actions we may need to take to protect and defend our rights, just as you believe you need to do that. And so what we would prefer not to do is, one, have the city take the public action of moving that process into a more formal situation than where it is right now. It would save you the effort of beginning those preparations. It would save us the effort of beginning responsive action that may be necessary in one or more venues. And we're trying to avoid that, which I think will help the tenor of the discussions to continue to be positive.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bethel, we're on a time frame. The city is, because we have to have these documents done in order to get it on the ballot in next year. But if y'all agree, we can go up till the day before the election and remove it from the ballot and won't be voted on.
Yes, sir.
So it's not going to hurt us, City of Benton. We got to do it now, or we're going to be time delayed, and we can't afford that. You understand where we're coming
It's
from?
my understanding the time delay would be a month. You could have an election in March, you could have an election in April, is my understanding. Mr.
And-
Carter can probably speak to that in more detail.
And they're starting to turn dirt, so, they've got to have some electricity out there for long.
Yes, sir, and we're trying to get it to where that can happen in an orderly fashion. And so,
Anyone else have a question? Yes, sir,
Sort of.
Mr. Lee?
Does the city of Benton have any electricity out there or means to have it out there like now?
it's my understanding, if you're talking about the property at exit 114 where
Yes,
the
yes.
continuing education center is going to be built, it's my understanding there aren't electric facilities out there from the city of Benton. There are electric facilities from Entergy, and again, the individuals from Benton Utilities can certainly speak to their facilities better than I.
Yes, sir.
I I thought at the last meeting, Mr. Bethel, you said that there were no Entergy facilities out there. There were no Entergy customers at the exit 114 property. Did I misunderstand that?
There are none at the specific location of where the continuing education facility will be built. We have facilities on the perimeter of that property and lots of facilities in the area. And so as far as being in a position to be able to serve the area, I think we can do so in very short order. We don't have facilities at the location where that facility is going to be constructed, but we have lots of facilities in the vicinity.
All right.
Both transmission and distribution.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bethel.
I'll just wait to hear from the other side.
Anyone? Mr. Carter?
Thank you. Jason Carter, Arkansas Municipal Power, representing Benton Public Utility Board. Is just a few comments. I did want to echo the point that Mr. Bethel said, that we do feel like we're at a point where we have an agreement in principle that's apart from an agreement in terms. You know, those are two different things. But there's a lot of work that's being done for an agreement according to terms that'll be, ready to be presented to you. It stands to mention that the city of Benton is a party to this, to any settlement that goes forward. It'll have to, pass your muster. You'll have to agree to it. So it's not simply enough for Benton Utilities Commission and Entergy to agree. You must also agree. But we believe that we're negotiating towards agreeable terms. That's our effort, is to negotiate towards agreeable terms. I think I heard one question about what is the effect of not voting? What would that effect be if you chose not to pass this ordinance this evening? And it has to do with the timing of when an election could possibly occur. And I think, Alderman Donner, you spoke to that directly. But with the track that you're on right now, you would be, if an election was to occur, and like I said, we believe we're making progress such that that wouldn't be required. But if it was to occur on March 3rd, for that to happen, these ordinances would have to be adopted and filed by December 23rd at the latest. That is the drop dead, Cinderella turns, the carriage turns back into a pumpkin, type deadline. So that is the reason for that pressure. Mr. Bethel is correct that if you did not achieve that deadline for the 23rd, if you chose to, put this off, if that was the will of the council, then you could pass in January, a separate matter, to call for an election on April 14th. Now, one difference, if you had an election on April 14th, you would be the only one on the ballot, right? So it would be the cost of the utility the cost of the election would be solely borne by the utility, as compared to sharing costs of an election, because there's already one going on March 3rd. So that's just a consideration for you. But whichever direction that you point in, I'm sure the people behind me with Benton Public Utilities says, where you point, we will march, and that's what we intend to do.
So what you're saying is that if we don't pass it tonight, it'll cost the utility department more for a special election.
It would, and I can't really give you an exact estimate on what that would mean if they had the election on their own versus participating, with the greater election, just adding an issue onto an existing ballot. But usually that's a cost share mechanism, so it's a less than normally bearing the cost of the election yourself.
Mr. Mayor, in the past, I believe the city for special elections have paid anywhere around $18,000 for that cost.
I believe when I asked Mr. Curtis what it costs for a special election, he said, somewhere between 18 and 20,000.
That's what he told me.
Is what he told me. So it's a lot more money to wait and have a special election for one item.
Mr. Carter, is the Utility Commission asking the council to pass this tonight?
I have not been given that direction, from the Utility Commission. I think some of the members are here. They, And there may be diversity of opinion among themselves about how they would choose to press forward. So I wouldn't presume to speak for any of them as individuals.
Mr. Bond, could you represent them or have one of them come forward, please?
Mr. Mayor, I yield the floor to Mr. Straker.
Mr. Stressner?
It's unusual to be on this side of this table. I'm the chairman-elect for the Benton Utilities Commission, and I am at this time speaking solely for myself as a commissioner. I believe that it's imperative that we do pass this tonight. I understand that negotiations are going on, but I think it's imperative that this is passed because as it was pointed out, we can back out of this at any time, up to that day. And I think if we back out now, I mean, the wheels especially the wheels of government move slow, but the wheels of big companies like Entergy move even slower. So right now, they don't have anything to pushing them. And I think if we pass this, they'll come to the table more readily, and we can probably get this settled before we ever go to a vote. But speaking as myself, as a soon-to-be chairman of the Public Utilities Commission, I ask that y'all do pass this tonight on the second and third reading. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, do y'all have any questions?
Any other questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
my concern is if we move it into April and we're the only thing on the ballot, you will have very, very little participation because they won't understand what's going on. And this way it gives both sides to continue negotiations if we pass this now and then withdraw it at the coming election.
Mr. Lee?
How quick are y'all going to be to get electricity from where you have it as close as there to out to 114 in the time frame that it would take to do that? If you could understand my question.
Yes, Alderman Lee, we currently have plans to meet with the contractor, CDI. They were the successful bidder to construct the CTE facility. We meet with them tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to make sure that we have a list of their needs when they need them. As far as the question about what facilities are in the area, we will be serving CDI's temporary needs with a generator. Mr. Bethel is correct that they do not have any facilities on the property, the 114 properties. They have facilities adjacent to the properties. They do not have any easements from the property owners to extend service into the property. Even though they are along the perimeter of the property, they do not have any easements to extend service into the property. Now, as far as the projected date of the extension of our services, the date that our power line would be energized is April 1st.
Of what year?
Of 2020.
So that's pretty quick then.
Yes, sir, and that has been designated as meeting the needs of the CTE facility.
But those lines could broaden out from that, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct. We will be bidding the structures for crossing the Saline River the second week of January and proceeding with the contract after that point. Our department will be building the wood pole lines to serve the property other than the river crossings. We will be contracting out the interstate crossing, and that will be part of the river crossing contract.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Hart, do you have a question?
Your advice is to go ahead and pass this tonight.
Yes, sir, Alderman Hirschfeld, it is. These two ordinances, best way I can explain them is sort of like a safety net as Benton Utilities and Entergy walk out on a trapeze on a high wire as we approach each other with this settlement, with this negotiated settlement, we can always reach a settlement prior to the election, but it is nice knowing we have this net underneath us. And I do believe that this net will encourage Entergy to continue working with us in good faith toward reaching that agreement. That agreement we hope to have before the council at the January 16th, Thursday, January 16th, I believe. That will be the next Community Services and Animal Control Committee meeting. And so I believe the PUC will have met the first Monday of January, the 6th, and in support of forwarding that agreement to the council.
All right. Any other questions? All right, hearing none. Okay.
What exactly are we?
We have just suspended the rules.
There was a vote to suspend the rules?
Yes, sir, and that is it.
Yes.
That's all we've done, was suspend the rules for the second reading.
Okay, we have not read it yet.
Yes, sir, that is correct. We have
Okay.
not read it we haven't made a motion to adopt it on the second. We have not made a motion to adopt it on the second reading. By title only. We just made a motion to suspend the rules for the second
Okay.
reading is all we did.
And we voted on that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you need to make a motion for the second.
Okay, I need to make a motion for the second reading by title only.
We have a motion and a second for the second reading by title only of ordinance number 82.
All right. Ordinance number 82 of 2019. An ordinance determining to acquire certain property of Energy Arkansas LLC is located north of Interstate 30 and within the city of Benton, Arkansas, and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
Now you want to make a motion to suspend the rules again for the third reading by title.
Okay, at this time, make a motion to suspend the rules for the third reading of ordinance 82 by title only.
Excuse me, do we not need to, we made a motion to adopt it for the second reading, did we not? Should we not vote on that?
Second,
No, no,
third
no.
reading.
All that motion was to read it, and so we read it. And so now.
Okay, that's fine.
The rule was the motion originally was to suspend for the second reading by title only. There was no other motion.
That's correct. That is correct.
So she needs to make a motion for it to be considered on third reading, to suspend the rules again, to read it by title only for the third reading.
And then I'll come back and ask for the motion to adopt.
Yes.
All right. Do,
What we're doing is legal.
Councilmember Reed, would you repeat that, please?
Motion to suspend the rules for the third reading of ordinance 82 by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance, for the third reading of ordinance number 82 of 2019 by title only.
Okay. Just a second. All right. We would be on Jocelyn Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hertzfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown.
Motion to adopt ordinance 82 on the third reading by title only.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 82, third reading of title only.
I've already read it for the third time.
You read the second.
Give me read again.
Please, please.
I'm making
Title
notes
only.
because this is different.
We'll talk after.
Ordinance number 82 of 2019, ordinance determining to acquire certain property of Energy Arkansas LLC is located north of Interstate 30 within the city of Benton, Arkansas, prescribing other matters relating thereto.
Okay, any comments? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, John Bethel, Director of Public Affairs with Entergy Arkansas. Make similar requests to you as I did before, and I'd also like to indicate that they're contrary to the comments that were made by the representatives from Benton Utilities. We've been actively engaged in good faith negotiations And without the need for these motions, these ordinances will have not provided an incentive for us to negotiate. We were negotiating before they were developed and passed, and we'll continue to do that. But as I said before, this does initiate a process where we have to look at what our other needs are to preserve our legal positions as well, and we'll certainly be considering those, as I told you before. But I just would like to make the same respectful request that you consider not going forward with this, that it's not necessary to make us or oblige us to negotiate in good faith. We've been doing that already. But thank you very much for your time, and I'll take any questions if you have them.
How many months have y'all been negotiating? Six?
Maybe that long, maybe not that long, but we've been making progress throughout the time. And as I pointed out in the last meeting, as I pointed out tonight, I'm confident we have the terms of an agreement in principle ready. All we lack is finishing putting those into writing. And so I think we've made progress throughout. It's both parties have had to consider their position and make proposals and counter proposals, and we have moved forward throughout the process.
Mr. Bethel, would you say you've made more progress in the last month than you have the prior months?
I wouldn't say that the process was faster or more significant in the recent months. No, we've continued to make progress probably at a similar pace, and I think, as I just said,
Well, did I not hear you say last month, though, that you were going to start a negotiation, and you just came to us and said that you've made some major progress in the principle, but not in actual?
But no, let me be clear so you understand. What I said last month is we have continued to make progress, and at last month's meeting, I believed that we were going to continue to make progress and have a high probability of having an agreement. We've continued to make that progress over the last month, and we have reached an agreement in principle, and it's a matter of reducing that agreement to writing. And so we've continued, I think, throughout the process to have constructive discussions and make progress.
All right. Thank you.
Mayor, I call the question. Let's vote.
Thank you.
All right. Do we not need to pass the emergency?
But we haven't voted.
We're voting.
So let's take a vote.
There's no emergency clauses.
All right, Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yeah.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes. There's no emergency clause. Okay, this time, as to suspend the rules for the second reading of ordinance 83 of 2019
By title.
by title only.
We have a motion and a second reading of title only of ordinance number 83 of 2019.
Suspend the rules for the,
Second reading
By title only.
by title only.
okay, let me flip my sheet just a second. All right, Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Motion to read ordinance, second reading of ordinance 83 by title only. Did we just do that one?
Yes.
Okay. Motion to suspend the reading for the third reading of ordinance 83 by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to have a reading of the ordinance number 83 of 2019 by title only.
The second reading.
Second reading.
Ordinance number 83, 2019, ordinance calling a special election in the city of Benton, Arkansas on the question of acquiring certain property of Energy Arkansas LLC is located north of Interstate 30 and within the city of Benton, Arkansas, prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
All right. Any additional comments? Hearing none. Councilmember Reed?
Motion to suspend the reading of the third reading. Suspend the rules, excuse me, for the third reading of ordinance 83 by title only.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the third reading of ordinance number 83 of 2019 by title only.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jed Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Motion to adopt ordinance 83 on its third reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 83, 2019 by title only. Let's take a vote.
All right, we are on Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jed Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown.
All right, Councilmember Reed.
Make a motion for the first reading of ordinance 94 of 2019.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 94 of 2019.
Or, no, no.
94.
I got it. Ordinance number 94 of 2019, ordinance adopting certain policies and standards for issuing small cell wireless facility site permits, declaring emergency and for the purpose. Whereas the City Council desires to adopt certain policies for standards for issuing small cell wireless facility permits by the city, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, that Section 1. The City Council of the City of Benton does hereby adopt certain policies and standards for issuing small cell wireless facility is it, what's the, is it siding? Okay, citing permits. These policies and standards are attached here to as Exhibit 1 to this ordinance. Section 2, there's immediate need to adopt the attached policies and standards in order to provide for the orderly operation of the small cell wireless facility site permitting process. Therefore, emergency exists, and this ordinance is necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, and safety. It shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
All right, any comments from the public on ordinance number 94? From the council?
Mayor, this is the one that, talking about the downtown area, correct? Making
Yes.
sure it's appropriate for that area, not blocking the mural and.
And not messing up the historic?
Right.
Yes,
Preservation.
yes, that's it.
Motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading. Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jed Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes. Motion to adopt ordinance 94 on the second and third reading by title only. Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 94, the second and third reading by title only.
Ordinance number 94, 2019, an ordinance adopting certain policies and standards for issuing small cell wireless facility site permits, declaring emergency and for other purposes.
All right, comments from the public? Comments from the council? Councilman Reed,
Need to vote.
take a vote.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jed Hart.
Yes.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause. Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause. Please
Steve
take a
Lee.
vote.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Jed Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 94, 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Reed,
Motion for the first reading of ordinance 95 of 2019.
Second.
have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 95 of 2019. please read ordinance number 95.
Ordinance number 95 of 2019, ordinance rezoning certain land in the city of Benton, Saline County, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas an application for zoning was filed with the Planning Commission of the city of Benton, Arkansas by Jamie and Laura Greer requesting that the lands hereinafter described be zoned to a multifamily residential R7. And whereas the Planning Commission ordered a public hearing to be held on December the 10th, 2019 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of hearing said application, the notice of such hearing having been published in a newspaper, having bona fide circulation in Saline County, Arkansas, with evidence having been submitted, all property owners, leasees within 300 feet of the property having been notified of said hearing. At said hearing, the Planning Commission recommended to the City Council that such request be granted. And whereas the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas desires to zone the following property as multifamily residential R7, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. The following described properties hereby rezoned from light industrial LI to multifamily residential R7. And you'll see a legal description there for Track B. And in it, which that legal description continues on to the second page. That's correct. Section 2, the City Council having found that the immediate rezoning of this property will allow construction to commence thereon, which will be of benefit to the local economy, hereby declares an emergency, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
Motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third reading. Please take a vote.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Motion to adopt ordinance 95 on the second and third reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 95, the second and third reading by title only.
Ordinance number 95 of 2019, ordinance rezoning certain land in the city of Benton, Saline County, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
All right, any comments from the public? From the council? Hearing none, council. Take a vote.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause. Please take a vote.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Judd Hart,
Yes.
James Hurtsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee,
Yes.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 95 of 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Reed, do you have anything further?
Yes, sir. Motion for the first reading of ordinance 96 of 2019.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 96 of 2019.
Ordinance number 96 of 2019, an ordinance rezoning certain land in the city of Benton, Saline County, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas an application rezoning was filed with the Planning Commission of the city of Benton, Arkansas by Jimmy Sorvello requesting that the land hereinafter described located at Aaron Field and Edison Road be rezoned from M mining to A agricultural. And whereas the Planning Commission ordered a public hearing to be held on December the 10th, 2019 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of hearing said application notice such hearing having been published in a newspaper having a bona fide circulation in Saline County, Arkansas, with evidence having been submitted that all property owners or leasees within 300 feet of the property have been notified of said hearing. At said hearing, the Planning Commission recommended to the City Council that such request be granted. And whereas the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas desires to rezone the following property from M mining to A agricultural. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. The following described property is hereby rezoned from M mining to A agricultural. And you'll see the parcel number there. And the legal description is attached along with this. Section 2, City Council having found that the immediate rezoning of the property will allow commercial utilization of the property to commence thereon, which will benefit to the local economy, hereby declares an emergency, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect after its passage and approval.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
Motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Jocelyn Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist? Steve Brown?
Motion to adopt ordinance 96 on its second and third reading by title only. Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 96 on the third reading by title only.
Ordinance number 96 of 2019, an ordinance rezoning certain land in the city of Benton, Lane County, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Please take a vote.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist? Steve Brown? Jocelyn Cash?
Yes. Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
A motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause for ordinance number 96 of 2019. Please take a vote.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist? Steve Brown? Jocelyn Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 96, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Reed, do you have anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Street and Drainage Committee, Councilmember Ham, do you have anything?
Nothing this time.
Thank you, sir. All right, Personnel, Health, and Safety Committee, Councilmember Donner.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I have ordinance number 97, 2019 on the first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 97 of 2019.
Ordinance number 97 of 2019, ordinance adopting the City of Benton Compensation Program dated January 1st, 2020, adjusting the pay rates for the General Fund, Animal Control Fund, Park Fund, and Street Fund employees, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the City of Benton recently conducted a review of the compensation policies for the City General Fund employees, and whereas the City Council desires to adopt a new salary scale as well as state the compensation policies for the city, and therefore be ordained as City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas. That's Section 1. The City of Benton does hereby adopt by reference Exhibit 1 of this ordinance, the City of Benton Compensation Program dated January the 1st, 2020. The pay ranges contained therein, including all compensation incentives stated therein, shall constitute the salary pay ranges for positions stated therein. The pay ranges, any incentive programs for each job classification or job title are designated within the exhibit. Section 2, the compensation program stated in Exhibit 1 shall be in effect as of January 1st, 2020. Section 3, wages for any employee who is presently being paid less than the minimum pay under the new wage scale shall be increased to the minimum pay on the pay scale for their job classification. Section 4. All City of Benton ordinances, resolutions, employee personnel policies, and parts thereof in direct conflict with this ordinance hereby repealed to the extent of such direct conflict, not otherwise. Section 5. Any provision of the ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstance held invalid as to invalidity shall affect the other provisions or applications of this ordinance which can be given effect without the invalid provision or application to the extent the provisions of the ordinance hereby declared to be several. Section 6. There is immediate need to amend and revise the employee wage scale for the City of Benton, therefore emergency exists. This ordinance is necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety, shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, that in a meeting, personnel meeting, finance one or the other, there was an additional 1.5% going to be added to all the non-uniform general fund employees. That 1.5%, is that money part of this?
It's not part of this. This page that you've got reflects the, no, excuse me, it is included in that.
So what we're passing for 20 is taking in consideration that they're getting.
Yes.
that 1.5.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For the record.
All right. Any other comments?
Oh, wait, you tell me to.
All right.
Suspend the rules.
Okay. I'd make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Please take a vote.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
All right, do we have a, let's see.
I'll make a motion to have the second and third reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the second, a motion and a second for the ordinance by the second and third reading by title only.
Ordinance number 97 of 2019, ordinance adopting the City of Benton compensation program dated January the 1st, 2020, adjusting the pay rates for general fund, animal control fund, park fund, and street and fund employees declaring emergency and for other purposes.
All right, comments from the public? Comments from the council? All right, hearing none, take a vote, please.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
this time we like to pass the emergency clause.
We have a motion and a second to pass the emergency clause. Please take a vote.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 97, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Donner, do you have
Mr.
anything?
Mayor, I have ordinance number 98 of 2019 for the first reading, please.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 98 of 2019, please.
Ordinance number 98, 2019, ordinance adopting certain compensation policies for the City of Benton, declaring emergency and for the purpose where the City Council desires to certain compensation policies for the city, and therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. The City Council of the City of Benton does hereby adopt the City of Benton compensation program. These policies are attached here to Exhibit 1 to this ordinance. Section 2, there's immediate need to adopt the attached policies and standards in order to provide for the orderly administration of the compensation program of the city. Therefore, emergency exists, and this ordinance is necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
All right, we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to suspend the rule for the second and third reading, please.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the second and third reading. Please take a vote.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the second and third reading by title only, please.
We have a motion and a second for the second and third reading by title only, please.
Ordinance number 98, 2019, ordinance adopting certain compensation policies for the city, declaring emergency and for other purpose.
Any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Please take a vote.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to adopt the emergency clause, please.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause in ordinance number 98, 2019, please.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hurtsfield.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 98, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Donner, do you have anything else?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to have the first reading on ordinance 99 of 2019, please.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 99 of 2019, please.
Ordinance number 99 of 2019, an ordinance amending the personnel policies and practices for employees of the City of Benton, instituting and implement weather policy, declaring emergency and for the purpose. Whereas the city adopted the personnel policies and practices for employees of the City of Benton manual by ordinance 52, 2005, which was passed and approved December 19, 2005, which has been amended from time to time. And whereas the City Council desires to amend the personnel policies and practices for employees of the City of Benton manual by replacing therein the original page 31 of 72 with the new page 31 of and 31B of 72 revised December the 16th, 2019. And whereas at least 3 copies of the revised pages have been filed with the city clerk of the city of Benton and available for public inspection. And whereas a public notice was published in the Saline Courier, a newspaper of general circulation in the community, advising the public that 3 copies of the revised page was available for public examination at the office of the city clerk, City Hall, 114 Southeast Street, Benton, Arkansas. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, that Section 1, the City of Benton does hereby adopt by reference and revised pages 31 and 31B of 72, which are attached to this ordinance, Exhibit 1, which institute an inclement weather policy for the city. Section 2, all City of Benton ordinances, resolutions, employee personnel policies, and parts thereof in conflict with the personnel policies and practices for employees of the City of Benton manuals amended by this ordinance hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict and otherwise. Section 3, City Clerk shall, upon the passage and approval of this ordinance, replace 31 of 72 of the personnel policies and practices for employees of the City of Benton manual with page 31 and 31B of 72 revised December the 16th, 2019, the copies of the manual in the clerk's office, and shall thereafter maintain and keep on file at least 3 copies of the personnel policies and practices for the employees of the City of Benton manual as revised by this ordinance, and at least 3 copies of the text of this ordinance for use and examination by the public. Section 4, any provision of this ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstance held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions or applications of this ordinance, which can be given effect without the invalid provision or application to this and provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable. Section 5, there's an immediate need to amend and revise the personnel policies and practices for employees of the City of Benton manual for the City of Benton, therefore emergency exists. This ordinance is necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety shall be in full force and effect immediately from its passage and approval.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Hearing none, Councilmember Donahue.
I make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
We have a motion, a second, to suspend the rules for the second and third reading. Please take a vote.
Steve Brown, Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hertzfeld.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Councilmember Donahue, do you have anything else?
Second and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, for the second and third reading by title only, please.
Ordinance number 99 of 2019, ordinance amending the personnel policies and practices for employees of the City of Benton, Arkansas, instituting and implement weather policy, declaring emergency and for other purposes.
Do we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Hearing none, please take a vote.
Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hertzfeld.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown.
Councilmember Donner?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pass the emergency clause, please.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to pass the emergency clause. Please take a vote.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hertzfeld.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 99 of 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Donner, do you have anything else?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I have resolution number 87, 2019, please.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the reading of resolution number 87 of 2019, please.
Resolution 87 of 2019, a resolution authorizing the city to enter into an agreement with the Exit 114 Properties LLC for accepting a donation of certain real property for the purpose of constructing a fire station, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes. Whereas the Exit 114 Properties LLC owns certain real property in Saline County along Interstate 30, which it wishes to donate to the city for the purpose of constructing a fire station thereon. And the city of Benton desires to accept the property for these purposes. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. The City Council does hereby approve, ratify, and confirm the agreement with the Exit 114 Properties LLC. A copy of this agreement is attached hereto and marked as Exhibit 1 is now incorporated by reference as is stated word for word. The mayor and city clerk are authorized to execute the same. The mayor is likewise authorized to fulfill the contract terms.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Mr. Lee, you got,
I was just wondering if there was a time limit of when you start construction on it hooked to this.
well, it's all but, when we start construction, it's going to be based on when we release the specs and get bids back and when the contract's released, to be honest with you.
But as far as the contract, council member, there is not a deadline whether or not we have to do it this year, in 5 years, or 10 years.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Any other comments? Please take a vote.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield? Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist? Steve Brown? Joshua Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
All right, resolution number 87, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Donner, you have anything else?
I just want to say that next year, well, with Christina and I have talked, we're going to relook and redo a lot of the employee handbook, because there's many things in there that are outdated. And so keep that in everybody's mind. You have to let us know if you see any changes we need to make.
And if I'm not mistaken, y'all are going to form a personnel committee made up of one person from every department to assist in this task.
That's from my understanding, yes, sir.
Yeah, and meet about every other week for a while.
We got a lot to go through. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Mayor.
you. All right, Parks Committee, Councilmember Hart.
Make a motion, we accept Resolution 88 of 2019, please.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept resolution number 88 of 2019. Please read it.
Resolution 88, 2019, resolution awarding a contract to Phil Hobby Photography, providing photography services to the City Parks Department and for other purposes. Whereas the City of Benton, after having advertised for bids for photography services for the youth programs, has determined that the proposal submitted by Phil Hobby Photography, which is a local company, is the most acceptable proposal for these services, and that the city should award the contract to this company. Now, be resolved by City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, that Section 1, the proposal of Phil Hobby Photography is the most acceptable bid providing photography services to the city. Section 2, the mayor is authorized to execute on behalf of the City of Benton a contract for photography services with Phil Hobby Photography and execute such other documents as may be necessary and convenient to accomplish this purpose. Section 3, the mayor is likewise authorized on behalf of the city to pay any amounts which may become due and payable under contract.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Hearing none, please take a vote.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist? Steve Brown? Joshua Cash? Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
All right, resolution number 88, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Hart?
Mayor, make a motion, we adopt Resolution 89 of 2019, please.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 89 of 2019. Please read the resolution.
Resolution 89 of 2019, resolution authorizing the city to enter into a contract with CBJ Vending LLC for operating vending services locations designated by the city and for other purposes. Whereas the city of Benton published a new RFP requesting proposals for operating vending services at certain locations within city-owned facilities, and whereas CBJ Vending LLC has previously been awarded contracts for these services in prior years. And whereas the City Council only received one proposal response, which was from CBJ Vending LLC, and whereas it's been determined that it's the best interest of the city to enter into an agreement with CBJ Vending LLC for operating the concessions at the locations designated by the city. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. The mayor and city clerk hereby authorized to execute on behalf of the City of Benton a contract with CBJ Vending LLC for the operations of the concessions at Bernard Holland Park and Tyndall Park for 1 year commencing January 1st, 2020 and ending December 31st, 2020. The contract is attached hereto as Exhibit 1.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Hearing none, please take a vote.
Judd Hart?
Yes.
James Hurtsfield?
Yes.
Steve Lee?
Yes.
Jeff Ham?
Yes.
Frank Baptist?
Yes.
Steve Brown? Joshua Cash?
Yes.
Evelyn Reed?
Yes.
Bill Donner?
Yes.
Jeff Morrow?
Yes.
All right, resolution number 89, 2019 is duly passed. Councilmember Hart?
Make a motion, we adopt Resolution 90 of 2019.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 90 of 2019. Please read the resolution.
Resolution 90 of, not 2015, let's try 2019. What do you think, Brent?
It says 2019.
Mine says 2015. That's
But
okay.
it's 29.
Are you sure?
Last time it's good.
Sorry.
Those things happen.
A resolution expressing the willingness of the City of Benton to utilize federal aid transportation alternative program funds, whereas the City of Benton understands that federal aid transportation alternative funds Program funds are available at 80% federal participation, 20% local match to develop or improve biking and walking trails between Tyndall Park, the downtown area, and the area school facilities. And whereas the City of Benton understands that federal aid transportation alternative program funds are available for this project on a reimbursable basis, requiring work to be accomplished and proof of payment prior to actual monetary reimbursement. And whereas this project using federal funding will be open and available for use by the general public and maintained by the applicant for the life of the project, now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, that Section 1. The city will participate in accordance with its designated responsibilities, including maintenance of this project. Section 2, the mayor is his designees hereby authorized and directed to execute all appropriate agreements and contracts necessary to expedite the construction of this city project. Section 3, the city pledges its full support and hereby authorizes the Arkansas State Highway and Transportation Department to initiate action to implement this project.
All right.
Got the date right.
Any comments from the public? Comments from the council?
There's 30 things.
Hearing none, please take a vote.
The only thing I did wrong was 15, which should have been 19.
James.
Please take a vote.
Yes, sir. James Hertzfeld.
Yeah.
Steve Lee. Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist. Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
All right, resolution number 90, 2019 has duly passed. Councilmember Hart, anything else?
Mayor, I have one more resolution. I make a motion, we approve Resolution 91 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution 91 of 2019. Please read the resolution.
Resolution 91 of 2019, resolution declaring certain property as obsolete and authorizing the disposal of the property in accordance with ACA 1454-302. Whereas the city owns certain park equipment which was once used by the Parks Department at the Ralph Bunch Park, which is obsolete and is no longer being used by the city, and whereas the City Council desires to declare this property as obsolete and to authorize the mayor to dispose of the property in accordance with ACA 1454-302. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, that Section 1, the park property which was once used at the Ralph Bunch Park, which is not being used, is hereby declared as obsolete property. The mayor is hereby authorized to dispose of the property in accordance with ACA 1454-302E.
Any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Hearing none, please take a vote.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Bill Donner. Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
James Hertzfeld.
Yes, sir.
All right, resolution number 91, 2019 is duly passed. Anything else, Councilmember Hart?
No, Mayor. I do ask that we get resolution number 90 out to Parks and Rec in a timely manner. I know y'all do that, but there are some date things that we have to do to get that in, so I just ask that you,
We'll have to fix the date
Yeah.
first.
I know. Thank you.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
All right, nothing else. Councilmember Hurstfield, anything from Public Utilities?
Not this time, Mayor.
Thanks, sir. Advertising and promotion, A&P. Okay, Councilmember Baptist.
All right.
First of all, let me say, we have a meeting this Thursday, 4 o'clock at the chamber, and I encourage everyone who can attend to attend. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 92 of 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 92 of 2019. Please read the resolution.
Resolution 92 of 2019, resolution authorizing the partial redemption of the City of Benton, Arkansas Hotel and Restaurant Gross Receipts Tax Bond Series 2012 on February the 1st, 2020, and for the purposes whereas the City of Benton, Arkansas, the city has issued and outstanding its Hotel and Restaurant Gross Receipts Tax Bond Series 2012 bonds, and whereas the bonds are payable from and secured by the 1.5 tax levied by the city upon the gross receipts or gross proceeds from the motels, hotels, restaurants, and cafes, cafeterias, and other similar establishments within the city, the tax. And whereas the Benton Advertising and Promotion Commission, the commission collects the tax and distributes tax collections for authorized purposes. And whereas the commission has determined it's best interest of the city to apply tax collections on hand to redeem $700,000 in outstanding principal amount of the bonds maturing on August the 1st, 2027, and to do so on February the 1st, 2020. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1, tax collection shall be used to redeem $700,000 in principal amount of the bonds maturing on August the 1st, 2027, on February the 1st, 2020. Section 2, the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to take or cause to be taken all actions necessary to accomplish the purpose of this resolution.
All right, any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Mr. Houston, didn't you have something?
Well, I just think that we should thank our commissioners on the P and Z, not P&Z, A&T. I'll get my letters correct here. They've done an outstanding job of stewardship, of reducing these bonds on a yearly basis. It's going to save the taxpayers a lot of money and pay them off a lot sooner than they would have otherwise. And so I think that they need to be commended for their work, which they've done for years.
All right, Eddie. Yes, sir, Mr. Baptist.
Comment also, this resolution is passed this evening. The total amount of the principal to be paid on the bonds after 2/1 of 2020 will be $6,495,000. The amount of bonds outstanding after that would be $1,320,000, and the amount of interest saved on the $700,000 redemption would be $80,738. Most notably of all those, the amount of interest saved on all redemptions would be $976,148. So we're talking almost $1 million in savings to the taxpayers.
Thank you. All right, any other comments? If not, please take a vote.
Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Steve Lee.
Yes.
James Hirschfield.
Yes.
Judd Hart.
Yes.
Jeff Morrow.
Yes.
Bill Donner.
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
Joshua Cash.
Yes.
Steve Brown. Frank Baptist.
Yes.
All right, resolution number 92 of 2019 is duly passed. Do we have anything else before the council? Yes, sir.
One comment I forgot about one ago, but we got notice on the next week, Alderman, to look at the minutes of December 9, 2019 for the utility commission. And I think it's notable to look at the first article there on planning. Tell us about that, what they do there. It's not just that, what they're saying.
All right, thank you. Everyone's got a copy in front of you. All right. Do we have any new business we need to discuss at this time, other than we'll have a meeting? I know this is the end of the year, January the 2nd, to get Resolution 1 taking place and assignment of committees. Any other new business? Any old business? I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and there's no one left for public comments, so can I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you.